Buckeye fans, welcome back to another episode of the Buckeye Breakdown Podcast. Today, it's a Friday show, a fun Friday afternoon tilt for us here on the Ohio State Buckeyes on SI YouTube channel. Before we dive into everything here, a reminder: hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you have not done so already. We got a nice little community growing over here on Ohio State Buckeyes on SI, and would love to make you a part of it here. So Anthony Moeglin alongside my partner, former Buckeye Kevin Woidke, here coming to you this afternoon here, Kev, as we're looking outside. Looks like you got a little round of golf in this morning here to kick off the weekend. What's going on in the world of Kevin Woidke this weekend here?
Yeah, just gotta love when you can mix business and pleasure. Able to do a little network golfing today. Nothing better. But now we're locking in for a very low-key weekend and regrouping, ready to go. And I feel like people in Columbus are doing the same because with camp fast approaching, got to take advantage of the weekends you can get, because once August, or I guess July 31st hits, coaches, players, staff alike will not have a good weekend, or at least a good weekend for socializing until like the third weekend in December.
Dude, the length of, I was thinking about this the other day, and we were talking about it on another channel that I'm a part of here. But really, the Browns. We're talking NFL. All the rookies and quarterbacks reported. They report today to camp. They're locked in till February. Ohio State reports. Everybody reports in 13 days, and they're locked in till January. Last year's run to the college football championship lasted through the middle of January. That is crazy. They're looking at 6 months here of just an absolute grind. So, like you said, get it in while they can. In these final 2 weeks, man, it's like everyone's kind of chomping at the bit and getting ready to go. And frankly, there's been a ton of Buckeyes in the news, kind of across the board. Big weekend for a lot of the Ohio State Buckeyes big week for a lot of the Buckeyes in the NFL. Garrett Wilson signs a massive contract extension. A 3-year extension worth over $130 million to stay with the New York Jets. And Kev, I kind of wanted to, we didn't talk about this or prep you on this, but I was doing a piece on Garrett that can be found on our site, si.com/college/Ohio State. But dude, I just forget how good he was. And he gets kind of stuck in Narnia right now with the New York Jets, and they've kind of been a little bit of a dumpster fire, but in the league, 3 straight years of over 1,000 yards and over 4 touchdowns, and 3 straight years of over 80 catches, which is crazy in the NFL. And then you just think back to how good him, Emeka, Marvin were back 3-4 years ago. Unbelievable how these guys they're now being so good in the NFL, but also when you think back at what they were in college, man, there's been some absolute studs that have come through at Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. He was so good in college, he cost us a touchdown against Clemson.
Yeah.
He had that miraculous catch, and then you watch the All-22. Clemson's so out of whack on the next play because we're moving so quickly. We snapped the ball. They had 6 guys in the box. I think they had 5 guys in the box for our 5 linemen. And the rest of the defense was over to the right covering our defenders because Garrett looked like he got knocked out. But then they blow the play dead right as the ball snapped. And JK had Grant Delpit to miss. And Grant Delpit couldn't have tackled a pillow back then. And that was the biggest thing. We were honing in on it. Not Grant Delpit. I'm sorry. Their safety. But the Clemson safety. And he made a miss, too, because he juked the kid as the whistle was getting blown. No one can hear it because it's so loud. He jukes the kid out, and then they blow the whistle, and you see JK jump up all upset because he was walking into the end zone. And we kick a field goal on that drive because they get everything locked in and ready to go. And that's how good Garrett is, that he actually cost us a touchdown because he made that miraculous catch. You see the picture of it where he's basically horizontal
to the ground, yeah.
8 or 9 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's so nuts, man. And those memories are always so good. That team was unbelievable. You talk about JK, you talk about Justin Fields, Emeka, Emeka was young back then, but Garrett and the whole rest of that crew, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Actually,
I don't think Emeka was there yet.
I don't think he definitely wasn't playing yet. And that those rooms were loaded, but also too yesterday on Big Ten Network, the replay of the Utah Rose Bowl was going, and that game just obviously it was great that Ohio State won, but that was like, if I remember correctly, that was like the end of, or that was when it was the height of guys not playing in the bowl games because they were kind of meaningless. And it was like the final year. It may have been the last year before the playoffs started getting rolling or something, whatever it was. I just remember like that game was absolutely bonkers. Obviously, JSN went insane, and CJ was slinging it around the field. It was just so fun. Just so many good memories. But on that topic, we'll stick in the wide receiver room. Our first topic of the afternoon here. Don't poke the bear, because it appears from what was said, what came out earlier in the week, that Jeremiah Smith, the best player, arguably the best player in college football as a true freshman last year, has some motivation here. And we're going to play a clip from it, that was released the other day from Adam King, a local beat reporter in the Columbus area. Does awesome work. If you find any of his work, highly, highly recommended. But take a look here from Jeremiah Smith.
I mean, we put on workouts this year was harder than last year, I should say. They be pushing us hard, because it's a new team. Everybody got new roles and stuff like that. But I just can't wait till the season starts. We definitely go put on a show. A lot of people have been doubting us. I've been seeing on Twitter and social media. So I can't wait to prove a lot of people.
Yeah, sorry, as I'm clicking around here, getting us back to the start here. But just a scary sight to see, to hear Jeremiah Smith, like I said, arguably one of the best players in college football last year, hearing the noise. Because Kev, I feels like it's not just me, but it feels kind of odd that everyone's kind of talking in the kind of the national landscape about everybody but Ohio State. It's like, okay, Ohio State got their run last year. They're not going to be relevant in the 2025-2026 season. But I don't know. I just don't find that to be the case. And maybe I'm way off, Kev, but it sounds like the Buckeyes are hearing something similar, especially inside that locker room.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear the clip. My volume's a little low, so it's not a problem. But it sounded like he was talking about the workouts at the beginning, and that's what Coach Mick does a great job of, is no complacency and making sure that, hey, you think you're really good. There's other people out there that don't think you are. Don't think everybody is afraid of you. Don't think everyone thinks you're elite. There's still people you have to prove wrong. There's still people that don't want you to be good. There's still people that are mad that when they were in 9th grade and they were at a D6 school, they blew out their knee when they could have been all state wide receiver. And those are the people that are throwing comments around right now. Like grow up, those people. But the second thing is, like, you need that chip on the shoulder. And it's like the Chiefs for the last 2 years have been like, oh yeah, everyone's doubting us. Like, no one's doubting you. No one's doubted you once. And what's funny is there are people that are actually doubting Ohio State this year. Which I get it. There's a lot of turnover. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're going to have the same level of play from our quarterback who is a 5-year veteran in college football. We're not going to have the same level of play from an offensive lineman who could play guard and tackle at an All-American level. Maybe we will, but the chances of that happening are very low. That doesn't happen often. And then the chances of us having a running back duo that did what Quinshon and what Travion did last year. Like it all meshed together perfectly. But the best part was people weren't talking about us. So they were like, once we lost to the T1 North, they're like, yeah, they're done. Mm-hmm. They're washed. They lost Oregon. They lost T1 North. They're not that good of a team, which almost made it better because we came under the radar to Tennessee. They came out shirtless like idiots and we're having a blast and all that stuff. And then we came out, saw how unserious they're taking it, dropped the absolute hammer on them, got a chance to get redemption against Oregon, dropped the hammer on them. Texas gave us the most fight of anybody, and then we were able to pull away at the end there. And then obviously Notre Dame, we turtled. I'll be the first to tell you, we turtled in that game.
Yeah.
If you ever go back and watch it, we were bullying, and then turtled when we got the lead because we were afraid we weren't going to be able to keep it. And that's what happened. I mean, we turtled the entire game against the team up north.
Yeah.
And that's what's frustrating.
Yeah. And I think too, like, you know, what you take away from last year, because even before the team up north game, like, I think it's going to be really important, especially this year, for fans and the players and coaches alike. Like, don't panic, right? What it looks like in September, well, I guess August, right? What it looks like in August isn't going to be what it looks like at the end of September, which isn't going to be what it looks like at the end of October, which isn't going to be what it looks like in December and January. You know, these teams get so much better, and that was like one of the main things that, you know, I kind of took away from, you know, last season, was that, hey, this group is going to improve, and I think that's going to be huge coming into this year, because you got to remember, not only is there going to be turnover from the personnel perspective, player wise, but also there's going to be massive turnover in the coaching staff as well. And so even those guys are going to have some of those growing pains, if you will. But man, it's funny. That's like, hey, everyone's kind of anxious about what the new guys are going to be, and not forgetting about, but maybe just putting in the back seat the fact that you're returning the best player in the country on offense and the best player in the country on defense. And as long as you have those two guys, you're going to be in really good shape. I saw something funny the other day. It was something about Jeremiah Smith. Oh, you know what it was? It was kind of weird, but Heartline took all the receivers to the pool or something, and they were having like this like pool party thing. And Jeremiah is just totally. This guy looks like I don't know how you stop him. I just don't know what you do to stop Jeremiah Smith. And he's going to be, if Julian Sand can just get the ball in his general vicinity this year, it's going to be a joke. He's going to run through, around, up, above, over every single defense that comes on the field against Ohio State. I think that is what, and I'm not alone in this, but that might be what I'm most excited to see kind of going into next season.
I agree. I mean, that's just, he had to improve. You can't be complacent. You got to improve with what's going on. And if you stay stagnant, you're falling back. Like that's if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Even if you're staying still, like that's just the reality of the situation. You've seen people do that. Like Devonta Smith was a phenomenal receiver, and he was so good he could do it, but he didn't tack on pounds or weight or stuff, and it was a little hard for him when he started getting going in the NFL for that exact reason. So Jeremiah seems like he is a pro already. We already know Caleb is.
Yeah.
But the the reality is you need more than just them to fill out a football field.
Mm-hmm.
You need Brandon Ennis and Carnell Tate to be as efficient, one of them to be as efficient as Mbuko was last year, because when they're double, triple, quadruple teaming Jeremiah, that means somebody's open. So that's what you got to do, is get those other guys ready. We'll have Claire. And this is probably going to be Max Claire. Let's be honest, it will be.
This is going to be a Max Claire show for sure.
I mean, we should get him in a guest spot. But Jesuit kid as well. But you got to make sure that you're not focusing all your attention on those guys, which I know the coaches aren't doing.
That's going to be the cool part, is to see, we know who's coming back. We know who's going to be a part of the team. The guys who are going to pop up and be the guy, the next guy up, right? Who's going to step up in that running back room? Obviously, it's going to be James Peoples is going to get a chance. Who's going to step up on the offensive line? Maybe the Armstrong twins get their opportunity at the left and right tackle spot. How good is Montgomery going to be coming into year, I guess, 1.5, because he kind of played the whole second half of last year, especially down the playoff run. So it's like, who are the next guys up? And I know that's what all of Buckeye Nation is looking at. But hey, to hear Jeremiah Smith, and if you couldn't hear that, that's on me. I'll include Adam's tweet or Adam's post in our in our show description here, so you can link right to it. Just really good. They sound motivated, sound like they're ready to go here. So next up for Kevin and I here, we teased this a couple weeks ago, but a little fun activity that we are going to do here on a weekly basis as we prep for the start of the season, just a few short weeks away. And especially as we get into the season, this isn't going to stop just during the off season here, but going to take a look at each one of our games and pick an over under of some kind, whether it be touchdown passes, touchdown runs, sacks, maybe interceptions or turnovers, whatever it may be. We're going to pick a side and see kind of where we land. So first up, Ohio State versus Texas, August 30th. It's going to be the marquee matchup of week one. We're going to actually put a pin in that because week one is actually crazy. There are some awesome week one matchups. Ohio State is going to lead the way against Texas. It's going to be that noon kickoff. But our first stat of the year, our first bold prediction of the year is we're going to look at the sack category. And it's going to be Ohio State over under 3.5 sacks. I know we set the line pre-show at 3. I moved it up to 3.5 against the Texas Longhorns and Arch Manning. So, Kev, the floor is yours, my friend. This is your idea. This is your baby. I love it. You're getting the first crack at it. Which side are you going? Over or under?
I'll take the over. I think that this will be a challenge for both sides of the ball. I think it's a challenge for the offensive line that is replacing a lot of very, very good players. And it's a challenge for the defensive line on Ohio State doing the exact same thing. It's seeing who prepared more in the offseason, who has a better development of their young guys throughout the offseason through last year coming up. And I mean, we saw some glimpses of the young guys last year, but it'll be interesting to see how they use it. I mean, CJ Hicks at defensive line will be crazy to watch. That's why I think it'll be over 4.5, especially with Matt Patricia bringing in linebackers and bringing in all that stuff. I'll be watching vehemently. Or is it 3.5? So, yeah, 4, even better. I'll be taking it at 4.5.
3.5.
But that's my first week prediction.
I love it. I love it. That is that's going to be good. Now I'm putting you on the spot. Is there a guy? Okay, Ohio State's replacing their 4 starters. They're 4 really kind of the heartbeat of their team. Is there a guy that right now, as it stands here on July the 18th, is there a guy that you kind of have circled that's going to be who you're looking to replace? Maybe the production that Jack Sawyer had, or JT Tuimoloau, or even the guys inside Tyleek and Ty. Is there a guy yet that you've identified like, hey, this is going to be the guy who's next up on that defensive line?
I like Caden Curry's energy. I think that guy's got a motor. He goes no matter where he is on the field. He's a menace. Based on and just watching him play, he goes nonstop. So if he can, keep that mentality going into next season and not be like, oh, I'm the starter, I don't need to go as hard, I hit my pinnacle. No, like just do it, because your pinnacle is when you're making whatever Nick Bosa just signed. That's the real top of the mountain. So, I mean, I think Caden Curry is going to come out of nowhere. And I also think whoever that fresh, I can't think of his name, Ed something, last year, he showed out in a couple of those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Caden Curry, man, to me is just everyone's got talent, right? Especially at Ohio State, but his love for being a Buckeye, it comes through, you can feel it when he makes plays. And, I think back to I think it was the Indiana game where he did something on special teams, and it's I forget which game it was exactly. Maybe it was Nebraska where he blocked a punt. I just remember him blocking a punt and just being the whole stadium was going crazy. He was going nuts. And he just feels like he's a Buckeye through and through, and that's huge for when the going gets tough, man. You got to dig deep and find something, and that's sometimes where these guys do end up finding it. So for me, that puts me on the underside of things. I guess I have no commentary on that because I do agree with you. I think it's going to be the Buckeyes going to be dominating the line of scrimmage, but I'll be on the flip side of it, and we're going to track it all down and keep a running tally here throughout the season. All right, Kev, a fun one here to send us all into the weekend here. And again, if you're hanging out with us today, really appreciate it getting your weekend started here with us. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that alert button. You'll know every time that we post a video. We're going to have a ton of content coming your way next week. We'll be out in Las Vegas at Big Ten Media Days. So there's going to be a lot of player interviews, different stuff that we are going to have up on the channel. So make sure you're following right along with us as the stuff starts rolling, and we're going to come back from that, and it's going to be training camp time. So it's going to start getting hot and heavy. Please make sure you keep us a stop on the Buckeye content train. So, Kev, we're going down south for our last topic of the day. A little fun one, a happy hour topic here. Which SEC team or teams do you think could threaten the Big Ten? And when I say threaten the Big Ten, obviously back-to-back years where the national championship has come to the Big Ten. Obviously, the team up north 2 years ago, and then Ohio State last season in that first 12-team college football playoff. So you've played NCAA 26. You know what's going on kind of on the landscape of college football. Who, if there's a team or two coming out of the SEC that you think has the potential to run with some of these Big Ten teams?
Outside of the usual ones, the Texases, the Georgias,
Nice. Yes.
What I thought used to be the Alabamas. Maybe they'll be back this year. Who knows? I'm hearing comments of Nick Saban coming back. I have no idea, or at least coming out of retirement. Who knows? That's all Twitter nonsense. But the teams that I think are poised for good years this year, I think Ole Miss could have a good year, even though they're normally like Brian Harmon was today, who entered the clubhouse at -6, and then the rest of the players started to play, and now he's tied for third, I think at -8, or tied for fourth. I don't know. That's usually how Ole Miss goes. They start hot, playing their schedule, and then they realize who's the real players. But it could be different this year. Ole Miss was saying they deserved to be in the playoff last year. I think that's going to fuel them this year. They don't have Jackson Dart, which is a huge drawback. I think Missouri's going to have a terrible year. I'm just running through the list of my name. I think Vanderbilt was a flash in the pan.
Diego Pavia. Diego loves to talk.
I think might be good this year I think South Carolina might have a run.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't hate South Carolina having a good year. Kentucky will be Kentucky. Oklahoma will be Oklahoma. I'm just running through.
It's so funny that you just said Oklahoma, and I had to go for a beat. They're not. Yeah, they are in the SEC. They are in the SEC. All right, here's mine. Gators, Florida Gators. I think that Florida is going to be kind of turning the corner a little bit. I guess turning the corner is not the right way to say it, but I do think with DJ Lagway, I think that he's got the potential to be a guy. I think that Florida is going to be a tough team to beat. I also think LSU with Nussmeier at the helm, and they'll be playing for a lot. Obviously, they had some tragedy in their program this offseason here. So I think that for me, it's LSU and Florida that I think could potentially challenge Texas, could challenge Alabama within the conference, and then whoever does ultimately come out of the SEC, they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's, man, because whoever is the representative of the Big Ten, which we think it's going to be Ohio State, but whoever it may be is going to be a damn good football team and a tough team to beat nonetheless here. So, Kev, we're getting out of here on this. You just hinted at it. A little golf this weekend. We talked golf a couple weeks ago around the U.S. Open. We got the Open Championship. Scotty Scheffler just fired a 64, I believe, 8 under par, which is insane. Or that's a 7 under, but that's insane. That is an absolutely ridiculous round of golf. What do you like heading into the weekend? Is Scotty just going to totally run away with this thing?
I don't know. That's a good question. I love seeing Tony Finau, tied for 10th. I always love seeing Tony Finau on my scoreboard. Tommy Fleetwood Mac, good day today. Needs to pick it up. Tied for 26. Shane Lowry, I'm surprised having an up and down Open. +1, but he was in the tournament. And Matty Fitz, the young kid who had a great time, that story of his brother flying in to watch him win the U.S. Open was awesome a few years back. It'd be great to see him pull a win out. I want to see Scotty. This would be 3 of 4 for Scotty's Grand Slam, which is crazy because if he wins the U.S. Open this year, he is then like inching on just launching Rory McIlroy out of the spotlight for most recent Grand Slam. Yeah. So it'd be interesting. I mean, he seems like he's locked in. I didn't really watch much of it today. I was playing my own golf, but
yes. Yeah, he seems locked in. He birdied the first hole, proceeded to play through the worst conditions possible, and fired a 7 under. He is so dialed. He's so dialed in. He's going to be tough to beat. I have a little action on Rory. I thought Rory was going to play a little bit better. He's still kind of in the hunt, but I have a sweet little top 10 parlay here that has some guys. Bob McIntyre's in on it. Bobby Mack is like my favorite dude ever. He just like gets no TV coverage, and then it pops up on Saturday or Sunday, and he's like 2 shots off the lead, and you're like, all right, there's our freaking guy. Bobby Mack's in there. I got Tommy Fleetwood, and then John Rahm, who Rahm kind of had a tough day today. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But always love the Open Championship because the first tee time on Thursday and Friday we're at 1:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So
there's Brian Harmon isn't on my TV on Sunday.
You're anti-Harmon? What is that about?
I can't watch him tap the ground 80 times before a shot. It drives me nuts. It like, you want to talk about putting people to bed while watching a golf tournament? Throw on Brian Harmon on the TV 8 times. Yeah, I mean, you'll get insane viewers for the show after the airing stops because they'll all be asleep and just accidentally watch the next show.
The waggle. All right, Kevin is anti-waggle, Brian Harmon. It'll be fun to see how that all shakes out. And it'll be fun to see what happens next week. Like we said, Big Ten Media Days are on their way next week. They'll be Tuesday through Thursday of next week. We will have presence out there. We'll be getting a lot of videos, a lot of on-site content coming your way to the YouTube channel. Also, a ton of content coming your way on our website, si.com/college/Ohio State. So as you're getting into the rhythm of the season, you're getting through summer, kids are starting to get ready to go back to school shopping and all that stuff, and you start getting focused on football. Make sure that you make Ohio State Buckeyes on SI a stop on your content path here. So for my partner, Kevin Woidke, I'm Anthony Moeglin. We're going to head out of here. Hope you all have a great weekend, and make sure you're always following along here on the Ohio State Buckeyes on SI YouTube channel.